Am I really that much to handle? Breaking these niggas down like a camel. You don't really know you are.
My aunt used me out of all my food stamps and had the nerve to kick us out a couple days later, and we had to find a shelter to go live. But before I fast forward into me and Jesiah leaving to a shelter, let's talk about how she told me the food that I bought in my last video wasn't enough food for all three of us. Y'all, I can't believe this. I literally came to my auntie. She made it seem like it was cool to come stay with her. She would look out for us temporarily for 3 weeks until I was able to get myself together. And it turned out being a last of 5 days. Everything I did, it was not okay. Then I had to also deal with verbal abuse. First, I'm too big. Secondly, I need to be a better parent. Thirdly, I'm so lazy. All I've been doing is cleaning up the whole time at our house and watching my son. Me and my son even left to the park just to give her a little break and me and my son some fresh air. But no matter what I do, y'all, it seemed like it wasn't good enough. I'm so frustrated, but I'm holding my peace because at the end of the day, I do love my auntie and I still respect her at the end of the day. So I just have a feeling that this whole situation is not going to work. But I went to the grocery store again, got all these family packs of foods to last us for the entire month. Yes. And first, the water I chose, that water ain't no good. Then, next you know, she started cooking the food. We have leftovers, and she passed out the food to her friends and family and neighbors and the people at her church. Y'all, she told the church she cooked enough food for everybody off of my food stamps. Like, this don't make no sense. So at this point, I feel like I'm being used and abused. She knew back in California I didn't have that much support. So that's why when I went to Texas, she was going to be the babysitter and everything to help me out with my son. Plus, I wanted to be in a different environment and a different change. I was depressed in California, and she knows all this. But I feel like she brought me there. She wanted to help, but she was dealing with some type of bipolarness because one moment she acted like she wanted to help. The next moment, she seemed like she just wanted to sit there and verbally abuse me. We're literally laying down on the couch and my son accidentally wastes his little sippy cup of water on her couch, literally a little bit. I told her I'll go ahead and get it immediately as soon as I seen him do it. She seen and she didn't like that answer and told me straight up, this is why y'all need your own place. After so much verbal abuse over the weekend, I told her straight up, Auntie, with all your respect, I feel like that was mean. She took that, me saying that you're mean, called other family members and told them I was being disrespectful. Like, at the end of the day, I'm a human being too. I don't have to deal with disrespect like that. Just because I'm homeless doesn't mean that I have to be mistreated or talked to anyway. At the end of the day, I don't think I have to rely on anybody or ask anyone for help at this point. At this point, all I'm going to do is depend and rely on God. He's going to take us through our journey. At this point, it got so bad to the point where we just started looking into a shelter. Now, I knew I was looking for shelters back in California, but it didn't work out because none of the shelters called me back. However, it was the weekend, so it was kind of hard to reach people on 211 for shelters, but I had one that actually reached out to me, and they helped me throughout the whole process and were very fast, and they came and picked me up. So, y'all, that was a breather because just to know that it was a safe environment, they drug tests. I found out I'm the only one in the shelter at the moment. Y'all, I feel like that was God. Me and my son even got our own room. And that's all I've been praying for. I kept praying, asking for God to send us the right shelter to help me and my son and help us with housing. Because I knew that once we checked into a shelter, it would be easier for us to get help with housing. But unfortunately, the shelter told me that we couldn't take our food with us. And that broke me, but at the end of the day, they did say they provide food. It's not the best, but it's better than nothing, and I'm grateful. After this, I literally cut all ends and ties with my aunt because at this point, I'm tired of people always trying to take advantage of me and my son. And it's so strange to me that how can you be a woman of God and turn around and do your niece like this? Then she went ahead and said my son's too bad. Well, if he's too bad, how are you going to babysit if I were to find a job? We went to the grocery store for about an hour and she had my son. She called me, asked me when am I going to pick him up. And I'm like, I'm on my way. I'm just making sure I got everything that you told me to get. And it's like, if you didn't want to handle him for an hour, how was you going to handle him if I worked an 8-hour shift? I was going to have to put my son back in daycare. And at this point, I realized, yeah, I could go anywhere in the state. It don't matter if family or not. I'm on my own. And that's okay. And I'm okay with that. I'm on my own and I got God right by my side. But y'all, I'm sorry if I sound like super quiet or whispering. It's late at night and I don't want to wake Josiah up. And he's sleeping like right next to me. But yeah, I went in there and put ribs. I went in there and got some chicken thighs. She said she was going to make Josiah some homemade chicken strips. I done got all the ham and meat to make sandwiches. All that food we didn't even get to eat. Like, we had nothing but one plate that y'all see me making on my live, a barbecue dinner, and some greens. And then we had some pork chops, but that was it out of all the food that I bought. And I made sure I bought everything bigger. If anything, she came up off of me. You took from my kid's mouth. He couldn't even get to leave with his food. Like, this is why I'm just praying to God, please bless us with the housing that we need, that we can afford, so we don't ever have to look back at the way people treated us or these type of situations. Like, I just pray, I stay prayed up, I listen to my church music every morning. I'm working on praying more before we eat. I'm teaching Josiah how to pray and put his hands together before he eats and before he goes to bed. At this point, I just want to spend my journey getting closer to God, because at the end of the day, I feel like he has the final say and the answer to pull us throughout our situation. But I want you guys to comment below. I want to know your guys' opinion on the situation. Do you feel like my aunt mistreated me and my son? Do you feel like I should have did better with shopping with the food? What is your guys' opinion on the situation? This whole situation involved us to go into a shelter way earlier than expected. And if that's the case, I would have never have to spend all of my food in her house. I can't believe my own aunt took food from my kid's mouth. That's exactly how I feel. And the bad part about it, people warned me about my aunt. And it's like, I know how she is, but I thought I knew how to deal with her. But I had to realize, no matter what, she's gonna find something that she has a problem with. Then we left off to leave to the shelter, and I told Josiah to tell his great aunt goodbye. She told me I already said bye and turned her head. I told her I wanted to say bye to her, and it just didn't seem as sincere. It's like, I don't know, it's like she wanted to help us, but her body language showed different. I don't know. I'm going to just pray for my auntie and move on from this chapter. But I'm just praying. I'm praying to God, keep me and Josiah in prayer, that we get to where we need to go, the funds that we may need to get into housing. So we're going to leave this situation with God. And thank you so much for our supporters watching our videos and all the way through. Please give this video a like, comment, and a thumbs up. And we'll catch y'all in the next video.
Not the only